Namaste. I'm Jyoti. I'm the founder director of Ajanta Vihara Institute of Spiritual Sciences. Through these videos, I've been bringing insights into fifth dimensional consciousness and also why it is important, how you can go about aligning yourself to fifth dimensional consciousness. If this is the first time you're here, then I'll encourage you to go and look at all other videos, listen to what I'm saying there, allow yourself to absorb whatever you feel you're ready to absorb right now. Whatever you cannot, just park it somewhere. Do not discard it. Do not doubt it, just park it somewhere. I'm sure as you move ahead you will start to become more aware, more accepting of lot of things beyond your tangible reality, and maybe that's when you can go back and bring it out from your subconscious. In last few videos I've been talking about how you can start aligning your material reality to this huge shift that is happening, so that you can have best of experience in your material reality, in your human existence. Right before we move into this fifth dimensional consciousness, the era of truth, the era of love. Now, why is it important? Some of you might say, oh, I might not live by that time. Your body will not live, but your soul will continue to live, and you would like your soul to continue to ascend, so that finally you're able to reach where there is beautiful, abundant experiences, and only abundance. Trust me, it is fact that human existence is only for allowing us to experience abundance, because abundance lies in love, gratitude, forgiveness, frequency. I mean, the truest of the abundance comes when you're experiencing 360 degrees unconditional love, giving as well as receiving. Well, it might come as a surprise, but that is one thing that we are not able to find our whole life. We do, but these are bits and pieces of love, and not the unconditional love that I'm referring to. Unconditional love brings oneness consciousness. It puts you into oneness consciousness with everything. If you are experiencing separation, in the sense you feel you are two entities, you and your partner, you and the plant, you and the tree, you and the animal, you have a different way of looking at human beings, at plants, at animals, in terms of feeling. Of course, there are realities of life that you go by, but when you start to feeling wise, you got a different kind of feeling for each species, things around you, just because you feel that they're inferior to us, or you feel that we are superior. That in itself shows that you are in a separation consciousness. Separation consciousness always brings fear. So separation consciousness always keeps you into fear frequency, because then it's a survival of the fittest, right? Which means that you would like to survive. You don't want to die. You don't want to extinct, right? So that survival of the fittest, that kind of keeps playing onto our mind, and we are all the time in the fear space, either expecting or getting disappointed or mistrusting, or trying to fight our way ahead of everybody else. So the exercises that I've been telling you is going to slowly and gradually move you to oneness consciousness, move you out of pain consciousness, move you out of fear consciousness, because this is a journey from fear to love. Every soul's journey is from fear to love. It is the process, right? And so don't try to focus on the destination. My destination is Kundalini awakening. My destination is highest of soul ascension. My destination is emergence of Shiva. You are in separation consciousness if you're talking that I am looking at emergence with Shiva. I'm looking at Shiva validating me and my efforts and my hard work as a soul. The day you are able to feel, that Shiva is inside you, and you are an extension of Shiva. You are Shiva, not out of ego. This experience of oneness is very different, you see. When you are able to experience that is when you have reached the highest of your ascension. Till that time, the journey doesn't end. So the destination is this infinite abyss, so you don't know where you're going. focus on the process. If you have to go from Delhi to Bombay, one is to just focus on from where you're getting in and where you're getting off, and another is to focus on this beautiful journey you will be taking, and not just destination is fixed. Please understand, like how death and life is fixed, it's the journey in between, it's your this life in between that brings you all beautiful experiences. Same way, as a journey, as a soul, we have to understand that this journey is where everything lies. The secret lies in experiencing this journey and allowing yourself 360-degree experience of love. That is why this journey is there. This journey is for us to experience 360 degrees, and it's not a linear journey. So that's another unlearning we have to get into. This is a circular, the dot, from where the dot starts, it ends there. So they're not two dots forming a line. It is one single dot. That dot starts and ends and makes a circle, and that dot is the soul. So let us try to understand how we can complete our circle. For that, what we need to do is we need to make sure that our bridge is strong, strengthened. It can take all the load of the transition. The reason I put my hand in and I said bridge, because that bridge is your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is the bridge between your spiritual realm and your physical realm, and the only way to find your balance between these two. And when you find your balance, you find your yin and yang balance, you find the balance between the energy and matter, right? When you do that, that's when it becomes easy for you to access into the unknown, meta fields, into the meta realm. And why is it important to tap into meta fields? Because we are also that. What we know of ourselves currently is hardly 1%. 99% still needs to be discovered. So, and each one of us have a capability to actually tap into that, those meta fields, and find a lot about ourselves. For example, I can access people's Akashic records, right? I can travel from one lifetime to another, multiple lifetime. I can understand their soul blueprints and all. How's that happening? That's happening because I'm tapping into what we refer to as unknown, what we refer to as the meta fields, and but because I'm showing willingness, right? I'm working on it. I am bringing in a discipline to change my frequency, to tap into frequencies maybe currently not known to human conscious mind, and this tangible existence that we have confined ourselves to. So today's exercise focuses on forgiveness, because we want to make this bridge strong. So if you go and watch my video previous to this one, it talks about again how to make this bridge strong. And so that's one exercise that I mentioned last time. Today's exercise is all about forgiveness. Now in this, again, you have to do 5 letters, and I would encourage you to, if you're comfortable with typing, type, but I would really encourage you to write. Reason being, when you write based on your feeling, your words get the pressure, get the vibrations, and also those carry your feelings and your vibration compared to typed words. So if you can write, that would be lovely. Doesn't matter how your handwriting is. Now when you are writing these letters of forgiveness, make sure that you are not keeping in your mind, you're not setting somewhere in your mind this thought, this intention that, oh, I'm going to write this letter and I'm going to give it to that person. The moment you think you want to give it to somebody, trust me, the whole structure, framework of your letter will change, the words will change, emotions will change, because you will become very conscious of what they will think once they receive it. There's an expectation. So your letter starts to get built around that expectation that you have, and maybe that fear of disappointment or fear of or need for validation that you have, which means that letter is not going to be authentic. which means the whole exercise will fail of expanding your heart chakra and making this bridge a strong one for you to find your yin and yang balance, for you to find your Shiva and Shakti balance. This is all Shiva, below is all Shakti. This bridge in between, your heart chakra, is the one that's creating the balance. So do these letters. Your first letter is a letter of forgiveness to self, to yourself. So if I'm Jyoti, I'm writing to myself, dear Jyoti, and then I extend my gratitude to this body that's Jyoti, but at the same time, I'm letting this Jyoti know that today I'm writing this letter to let you know that I hold this space for you, and I am today choosing to forgive you for all those mistakes you've made, whatever, right? So you write all that since childhood, whatever, and I seek forgiveness from you for judging you, for being critical of you, for being biased, holding biases against you, for not being there for you when you wanted me. So it's a two-way exercise. You forgive and you seek forgiveness. Do that for yourself. That's your letter number 1. Letter number 2 is forgiveness exercise for your parents, irrespective of what relationship you have. And this is what I've spoken about in my previous video. Good, bad, ugly, whether you've met your parents or not met your parents. You have 2 set of parents, you write 2 set of letters. You have 3 set of parents, you write 3 set of letters. Is it too much of work? You have to do work if you want to ascend. If you want to grow in life, don't you work, don't you slog it out. So it's like that. And trust me, why do you seek promotion in your job? Why do you seek growth in your business, in your career? Because as you grow up, you're going to have a better lifestyle. You're going to have more safety and security in terms of money, wealth, relationships, material comfort. Same way, if you are going to put in a lot of hard work, you are growing as a soul. You're going to move up, ascension, and complete abundance lies there. Abundance that will be permanent, not just like all this material abundance which disappears after this lifetime. You don't take it with you, but that one you will be taking with you from one lifetime to another lifetime. So second letter is to your parents, where you forgive them and you seek the forgiveness from them. Third, of course, is to your friends, maybe friends that you've lost, maybe friends who hurt you, maybe friends that you hurt. You could do individual letters or a generic one for all of them put together like a collective force. You can do it for your friends, your other family members, your colleagues, or you can do 3 separate. It's entirely your call. To me, this is all one set, one group. You can maybe bundle them up together. That's one energy collective, right? Your parents and your grandparents and your brothers and sisters, and if you're in a joint family, then your cousins become part of that brother and sister. That is, if you've had many years with them, that becomes one energy bundle. So one energy bundle is letter to yourself, one energy bundle is letter to your mom, dad, grandparents, brother, sister, depending on who all are there, who live with you, with whom you have shared the physical space growing up. If not, if you were an orphan or you got separated from your parents, then decide for yourself with whom you spend maximum your mental space with. Then, of course, another energy bundle, as I said, friends, colleagues, people in your environment who would have impacted you in some way. Fourth, of course, is the very important letter, and that's for your environment, to the trees, to the plants, to nature spirits, to water spirits, to earth spirits. This might sound weird to a lot of you who've never done this, but trust me, these are all powerful energy fields. So if you don't want to look at them as beings like how I look at them, you look at them as powerful energy field from where you want to draw energy for yourself. So do your forgiveness exercise there, write those letters. Then you can include your planets and whatever you feel there, And fifth is a very important letter to the divine source. You can have your spirit guides, your ascended masters, your angels. You can have your gods mentioned there. You can have your universal consciousness, creator, whatever you feel comfortable. Put all of them there, and that's your one energy collective bundle there. These are 5 energy collective bundles that you're doing where you're doing your forgiveness. The moment you do your forgiveness, your energy shifts. And the reason I want you to write these letters is read these letters. Maybe you can make this as a weekend ritual, or maybe you can make this as a daytime ritual. In the morning you get up and you do your forgiveness, or in the morning you can do your gratitude, and at night you can do your forgiveness. But once in a week is what I would encourage you. Like once in a week, sit down and go through all these letters. Maybe every Sunday ritual you can do. So Monday when you start with lot of release, of all the stagnant negative energy inside you due to maybe unresolved emotions, unprocessed trauma. So every week will be fresh energy, because every Sunday you're sitting down and reading these letters, and you can keep adding more and more letters. The shift you will experience is going to be a very, very powerful shift. Your heart chakra will start to expand. You will start experiencing more love coming your way, and you will open up to giving love. So for this week, this is all I'm leaving you with. Please do this exercise, start it, and then follow this ritual Sunday to Sunday of reading your own forgiveness letters. I am very sure that this is going to